Hello friends! Today, my father wants to share some experience with you, tying several C-knots that he constantly uses. Let's get started. The first knot is used to thicken a rope or a cable. It's called blood knot. Let's look at the animation. These knots were tied at the end of whippo katana tails to draw blood while punishing sailors, thus its name. It's easy to make. Take the free end of the rope with the right hand and the root end with the left hand. Then make a loop and make a simple knot. But instead of wrapping the rope around once, do it twice and then tighten it. As for its uses, it's convenient for fixing swing seats, as an example. Thread it through a hole, tie a knot, and the cable is securely fastened. In addition, the knot can be made with more loops, then it becomes good looking as well. Here's how to do it. Make a loop around the first phalanx of the index finger and then wrap the free end around the finger, but not too tight. When the number of loops is sufficient for the knot, pull the finger out, thread the rope's free end through the loops and tighten the knot. It turns out quite pretty. Our next task is to tie two cables together. And here are some nuances worth mentioning. If you need to quickly tie two ordinary clotheslines that are going to be used for hanging socks and t-shirts, then so-called open-hand knot will suffice. Put two ropes together and make a simple knot with them. That's it, the ropes are securely tied together. But where's the catch? Well, firstly, the knot greatly weakens the rope, and secondly, it's very difficult to untie under heavy load. It's nearly impossible. If you need to tie two ropes of the same thickness together, then Reef knot is quite suitable for the task. Here's the tying animation. Despite its simplicity, you can easily tie not quite what you intended to. Note that on each side of the knot, the running and root ends of the cable must be side by side, and the free end must be on the same side of the knot. If the free and root ends are between the other cable, then instead of a reef knot, you'll end up with a granny knot, which is really weak. Also, if the free ends are facing different directions diagonally, then you will get a thief knot instead of a reef knot. It also shouldn't be used. Here's what you can do to avoid being confused. Make a half knot and then press the free end of the left cable against its root end, and then thread the free end of the right cable into the resulting ring. It's impossible to make a mistake this way. Do not use this knot in critical situations and not tie it with slippery nylon cables. Everything is great when the ropes are equally thick and not very slippery, but if they aren't, then this can happen. Do not untie itself. To avoid this, you need to use a sheet band. Here's the tying animation. It is tied the same way as a reef knot, but at the end, the free end of the right cable is not wound into the ring, but instead passed onto the root end and threads further above the ring. Now let's tie it using our hands. Make a half knot, connect the free and root ends, and then put the free end onto the root one. The knot is ready and it doesn't untie itself. Here's the next pitfall. Both reef knot and sheet band are good for constant load. In case there is a variable load, or if the rope is very slippery, then it is better to play it safe and tie a double sheet band. It's tied the same way as a sheet band. First a half knot, then connect the root end to the free end, but then wrap the free end of the right cable around the folded ends of the left cable, and only then we thread it under the root end. Gently straighten and tighten the knot afterwards. This is how it looks, and in terms of reliability, it significantly exceeds a simple sheet band. Now let's move on to the king of knots. It's called the bowline. Let's look at the tying animation. This knot is used to form a fixed loop at the end of the rope that can be wrapped around a person, a tree, a tow bar, a loop of another cable, or anything else. It's used in all kinds of situations. For example, when towing a car. Its biggest virtue is that it's not only reliable and easy to tie, but also can be easily untied after removing the load, which is important if you want to save the cable. Here's how to tie it. Take the rope in your left hand. Grasp the root end of the rope with your right hand, so that the palm is facing away from you. Do half of a clockwise turn to get a ring and hold it with your left hand. Then form a loop with the free end and insert it into the ring from the backside, towards yourself. Grab the rope above the knot and thread it into the ring again, and then tighten the knot. The resulting loop can be put onto a hook. If there is an eye instead of a hook, then when tying the knot, you need to thread it through the eye's hole before forming a ring with the rope. Afterwards, proceed with tying it as usual. Put it into the ring, grab the root end, thread it through the ring again, and tighten it. The knot is ready for usage. It's impossible to untie such a knot when it's loaded, even if the cable in question is made of nylon. After towing, we slightly shift the upper loop of the knot along the cable, and it is easily untied with just bare hands. Thank you for watching, hope you're having a good day, see you again!